But here in Hebrews chapter 5, verse 2, when it says he can deal gently, has a very specific meaning. Matter of fact, this word is only used here in the entirety of the Bible. And here's what it means. He's able to be restrained. He moderates his behavior to be tender with sinners. He moderates his behavior to be tender with sinners. He moderates his judgment and is tender towards another person's errors. Here it denotes a state of feeling toward the ignorant and the wayward, toward the sinner, a reaction that is neither too severe nor too tolerant. The high priest must not be betrayed into irritation at sin and ignorance, neither must he be weakly indulgent. Let me try and help maybe unpack this and give some additional clarity. Sometimes as humans, we're willing to be gentle and patient with those who things happen to them. But when it's their own fault, it's their own error, it's their own sin, it's like, well, you got what you deserved. What a stupid decision. What a foolish path that you took. And we stand off in condemnation. Hebrews chapter 5 verse 2 specifically speaks to not those who are just going through a hard time, but he deals gently with those people who've blown it, who've made the mistake. They are off the path. They are ignorant of what they should be doing. And yet God, though justice should say anger and wrath, or maybe even our humanity, we should be irritated with, oh my goodness, you did it again? How many times are you going to fail? How many chances must I give you to get it right? You see, that's maybe our human reaction. But Hebrews chapter 5 verse 2 says that Jesus moderates his response and he deals gently with the sinner. He comes alongside in kindness. He's not giving them a free ride or a free path. He's not saying that our sin doesn't matter. It's not passive weakness, but he responds with the fatherly, get down on the knee and talk to your child face to face, eye to eye. That the tone of the voice and the demeanor of the character of God is one of gentle kindness. He deals gently with the wayward and the ignorant. In contrast, how many times do we quickly condemn for someone else's errors? We have an unrestrained emotional reaction and we're rough and gruff with someone because of their imperfections, their ignorance, their waywardness, or their sin, and especially when they deserve it. They get what is coming to them. Therefore, I am right in my disdain. That's how we think often. But you see, the same is true of us in that we deserve it. You and I walk into sin day after day after day. We deserve the wrath of God. And yet our great high priest is of such a heart that he still speaks gently and tender to us. He gets down on our level and speaks gently, albeit firmly and clearly. He is tender towards our errors. Brothers, fathers out there, there's a great lesson here to be learned from the example of Christ. As fathers, do we emulate Christ to our children, to our grandchildren, a gentleness that draws our families rather than a gruffness that repels? Instead of jumping down on the look, you failed, how could you do that again? Honey, I've told you 100 times. Proverbs has much to say about the fool with a quick tongue that stirs up strife. To be clear, gentleness is not weakness, nor is it passivity. Gentleness is might that is restrained. Think about this. God, the mightiest, most powerful, most terrifying being in the cosmos, both created and uncreated, in any conceivable expanse, God has no equal. But have you ever thought about this? What is the most gentle being ever? It's not a little bunny rabbit. Who and what is the most gentle force? It is God. There is no one more gentle than him. That in his might and power, who can snuff out everything with just a word, is also the most gentle and tender